Alrighty. Hello, my name is Samuel Ray, also known as Dr. Sam, and this is S-Factor Labs. So today, I'm going to get right into it. A couple days ago, From Software released some raw footage of Armored Core 6 in action, pure gameplay. So I definitely wanted to just watch this for the first time with, uh, my raw untainted reactions. I've avoided all discussion about it, all spoilers regarding the gameplay. I wanted to look at this with fresh eyes while recording. That way you could see my thoughts on this, and then I'm going to just probably watch through it a couple of times and really just break down my thoughts on it from my own, mindset before I start engaging in any kind of discussion online. So let's get into it and see. And I'm going to link to where the footage is that I'm watching. It's actually by a channel called Zeostorm, who covers a lot of Souls-like games from FromSoft and the Armored Core games as well. So let's take a look at this. Okay, let's take a look at this. I like the graphical style. Okay. Cool. I like the firing off of those little thrusters on the shoulders when adjusting angle. Nice realistic touch there. Okay. Not quite an overboost. It doesn't have the long wind up or charge up, but it is a fast forward boost. Now they don't have any of the HUD on. Okay, there's still some weight to the movement. Not as slow as Armored Core 5, but not as blazing fast as Armored Core 4 and 4 Answer. I saw a theory before this that there would be specific dedicated pads for high jumps, and it looks like that's actually true. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Forward dash into a kick. So there are melee options besides the melee weaponry that you equip on the arms. That's good. That's good. Expand our options a little bit. I'm always down for that. Alright, alright. Being able to use the shoulder-mounted weaponry without needing to stop moving and crouch like in Armored Core 3 and older is a nice touch. Shoulder-mounted energy shield. Oh, melee attacks that aren't just a single swipe of the laser sword. That's great. That always made melee feel a little too clunky in the old games when you would, you would attack and all it would be is just a dash in and a swipe. It was a little odd, in my opinion. Okay. Definitely enjoying the way the movement feels. A little weighty, but not so much so that it's really clunky. Okay. So here's the garage. It looks kind of similar to the way that it looked in older Armored Core games, but not so worn like number crunchy, you know? Oh dear, cracking. Unfortunately, I encountered some technical difficulties, so I had to deactivate my arms. Alright, let's go back just a smidgen. There we go. Alright, let's see this thing in action. This hulking robot with the boring, drilling arms. Huh. Shots were bouncing off of it there. Okay. So you have to attack it head on. Its armor on the top looks to be too tough. Meaning you have to be in the line of danger in order to damage it. Very interesting. Forcing you to get a little more vertical over those arm attacks. Well, that was certainly interesting looking. So I'm gonna turn the volume down and then just play this back a smidgen. But it's definitely an interesting take on Armored Core gameplay. I am definitely seeing the inspirations of the Souls-like games in it, but not to such an extent that it feels like a completely different entity. Like, it still feels distinctly like a mecha game. It still feels more Armored Core than Dark Souls, I would say. The verticality and the mobility is much more mech-like in keeping with the Armored Core games. In fact, flying around is a little more like an Armored Core 4, but in 3, sort of? Because, like, it ascends in a similar fashion to how you ascend in Armored Core 3, like that. However, you don't get as much of, like, quick boosting around like in Armored Core 4 series. Definitely intriguing to see. So yeah, I'm definitely seeing some interesting mechanics here, like, for example, the fluidity of the mobility. Definitely kind of a combination of the way mobility felt in Armor Core 3 and 4, I would say. It looks like there's a camera locking, if you notice here. The way the camera follows the opponents. That's going to make combat feel a little more, I would say, approachable to more people. You don't have to, babysit the camera. And then just the way that they're able to quickly switch between ranged attacks and then quickly boost in, because I may have mentioned earlier, but that right there is the assault boost mechanic that was talked about in an interview after the previous trailer. So it enables you to quickly close the gap, but not so quickly. It's not an instantaneous boost. It has a little bit of a startup there, which is nice, because in the PvP, that'll enable you to kind of see it happening and react to it. So it's a nice touch there. But I'm definitely seeing right there, see, there's a beep and a click, and now you have a camera lock. That is absolutely taken from the Souls-like games. That is not something that existed in any previous Armored Cores. But that's definitely a new change there. But it does enable for more dynamic looking combat, like being able to boost around and then turn around quickly. A little less restrictive, a little more fluid, without having to make the game just absolutely nutty fast like in Armored Core 4. And then I really like this pulse scan. It's way better than Armored Core 5's system, where you had to switch between scan mode and combat mode, where in scan mode you get back your boost energy faster, and then you would see skilled players just constantly, just incessantly switching back and forth between scan mode and combat mode, and it would just get annoying, I'll be completely honest, and made gameplay much less fun to watch. So turning it into a usable utility like that, much better, much better. I really like the way this combat looks, though, with being able to just quickly boost to the sides, dodge, then boost in and melee attack. Just, it seems like they've definitely been focusing on getting the game feel down to a point where it feels responsive, but not super fast. The mechs still move with weight and inertia, as they should. Like, you can kind of feel the weight when doing the side boost, right? Because they have to fire up the thrusters and then it moves. Like that. Not an instantaneous change of direction. So that gives that feeling of weight, because you're moving around these, mechs that way in the double-digit tons. I like the way the garage looks. They definitely condensed the number crunching a little bit. You can see that there's no shortage of information given to the players. However, it doesn't seem to be quite as... It doesn't inundate you with as many stats and numbers as in previous games. However, usually in those games, you had to toggle them on, and I do see why to toggle display at the bottom left. So I'm assuming that option will still be there for those who want to dig into that. But looking from the information that it gives you at the bottom middle and bottom right, I'm definitely seeing that they condensed all of the necessary, crucial information in a way that pretty much anyone can understand. You know, defensive performance, stability, boost speed, and so on, total rounds, impact, all that kind of stuff. Impact seems to tie into the stagger mechanic that they talked about, and we actually get to see that in the gameplay with the reverse joint legs, which we will get to right here, where after dodging enough attacks, using those reverse joint legs to have extra leaping ability, combined with the boosting, allows you to really just reposition quickly with a jump, with a boost jump. Which was always the unique thing about the reverse joint legs, being that they had better jumping and air mobility, but less armor than your traditional bipedal legs. So it's definitely repositioning to avoid those big laser sword swipes. And then here we get to see him dodging multiple attacks. And then once he dodges that, which I definitely like, how he goes seamlessly from the assault boost forward into a side dodge to avoid that cannon shot. Definitely gave that a dynamic feel. Makes it look like some ace piloting right there. And then the dash in kick melee, which you see the machine stumbles a little bit. It kind of crumples. That must be the stagger mechanic that they spoke of in the interview after the previous reveal trailer. And then this shotgun blast that knocks them back further. Boom. Then a 3-hit combo. So nice that you can have more than just one swing with your melee attacks. Got a nice 3-piece into a volley of these electrical shots. Definitely seem to have a stunning effect. And then a charged up, like heavy melee swing. Definitely more combat variety than in previous games, especially on the melee front. Having a 3-piece combo and then a charged or heavy strike that has a slower startup. Definitely going to allow more flexibility in how you want to play or how you want to build your mech. Because before, if you wanted to do melee, it was just a single swipe and that's it. And how you swiped, whether it was a stab or a horizontal or a diagonal swipe, depended on what legs you had equipped. So it seems like here, you're going to be able to build more either versatile mechs, or you can do melee combat as an actual viable way to play the game. If you want to build a high speed, low defense, and just, punishing melee, then you probably could do that in this game, which in previous games you could do it still, but it would be really hard to play that way because the games just weren't designed for it. So they were extremely difficult because either the tracking on the melee attacks was garbage or it was a little overtuned, but you still only had one swipe. And then they usually had enough recovery frames after it, recovery time, where you couldn't act, that sometimes it would just punish you for trying to do it, even if you land a hit. So this definitely has more freedom of playstyles and build variety from the looks of it. Definitely going to keep the PvP interesting too, to see what kind of builds people come up with. Like, that just looks so fun. I'm not gonna lie. That looks really fun. I'm definitely a positive impression on this, looking at the gameplay. Also, like I mentioned earlier, the camera lock, while brand new to Armored Core, is definitely going to open up the viability on things like comboing together your skills, like here, right? I mean, we just see boost in kick, shotgun blast, 3-piece combo. So it's 3 different things used. Then that volley. Like 3 different equipment pieces and 4 different types of attacks chained together expertly. That's a fluidity that didn't really exist that much in previous entries. So I really, really like that. It's going to make the combat feel very fun to play and to watch, I think. I'm really enjoying the way this looks. Like, I can't wait to build some cool cool combinations. And then these boss mechs. Interesting. Not as fun to watch in this trailer, I think, but that's because I don't think they wanted to show you how to beat it, necessarily. They wanted to make it look more impressive and imposing, like here, with the shot ricocheting off the top. But it looks like the hits only do any damage when striking the front, which is in the direct path of danger, so... And they hit hard from the looks of it right there. It's gonna be interesting to play, yeah. Something that wasn't in previous games, because usually the boss fights in Armored Core games were other Armored Cores like yourself, or in like Armored Core 4 there was the Arms Forts, which were these massive, just armed bases that, well, I mean, they're exactly what they sound like, a fort that's armed to the teeth. But, I mean, you're a mech against a giant fort. That's a bit different than fighting against a large, punishing mech with a specific theme. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they handle these bosses that are tied in with the campaign. It's going to be a nice, fresh little take on bosses in the Armored Core series, that's for sure. And, you know, it is nice to see them doing something new with it as well. So, but yeah, overall, my impressions on this are very positive. Definitely looking forward to how this game looks. It's got a little bit of a lot of the old, but like the best aspects of the old, and then a little bit of new to make it feel fresh, which is not dissimilar from previous generational jumps in the Armored Core series. Every generation has felt different from past generations. So your Armored Core 2 series feel different from the Armored Core 1 series. And then the Armored Core 3 series of games felt different from the Armored Core 2 series. 4 became pretty drastically different. And then the 5 series was pretty drastically different as well. So for Armored Core 6 to have a different feel, but enough of the core elements of the franchise to feel like Armored Core, that's right on brand for the series. And honestly, not a bad way to do it. I mean, just look at how that worked out for for Monster Hunter, right? Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise definitely don't have the same feel as the old world, as they call it, Monster Hunters, which is Generations Ultimate and older. But the game only became more popular and more well received afterwards. And it kept, you know, what makes Monster Hunter Monster Hunter. So, definitely a worthy successor, and I feel like this is going to be the same case. Definitely a worthy successor to the Armored Core games. The only difference here is that we haven't had a new Armored Core game in, I think it was 15 years or something like that. 2005-ish, maybe? 2009? It's been a long time. A very long time, so... Yeah, no, this is looking very fun. Very, very fun. And clearly you can have like more medium speed mechs like this one, or you can have very fast ones like this one. You know, you definitely see it moving around at a faster pace, but it's definitely going to have less armor. So I'm liking the way this is looking. I just can't say that enough. I'm definitely got a positive feeling about this. I'm going to enjoy this. That part, that's the best thing to end on. That right there encapsulates what makes this game look so fun to me. So, all right, that's my thoughts on it. That's my first reactions and my impressions, and kind of a light breakdown. I didn't want to go in and try to frame by frame break it down. That's not my style, but definitely a good enough breakdown on what they showed here. I'm looking forward to this. I'm still even considering getting the collector's edition with that awesome statue, so if they still have it in stock. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford to pre-order it until maybe I'll be able to do it next week. Either way, definitely going to get this on PC. So, all right, that's been it for me. I hope you enjoyed this. Follow, or not follow, that's Twitch. Like, subscribe, share your thoughts with me in the comments below. I got some feedback on my previous Armored Core video and definitely enjoyed seeing that. So share your thoughts with me here, your impressions on what this could mean for the game series going forward. And just in general, how are you feeling about this? Optimistic, pessimistic, somewhere in the middle? I look forward to discussing with y'all. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you in the next video I make, whether that be an Armored Core video or something else. I'll see you next time. Have a great one. Sam here. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. That'll help me out a lot as I try to grow this channel and figure out what kind of content I want to continue making for you all. Also, feel free to comment your favorite parts or any other feedback and suggestions you might have. I'll see you there or in whatever I upload next. Have a good one.